All right, there's some problems out there, and we're going to have a solution. All right? You ready for this, Toby?
Okay.
Drew, cut that answer. That wasn't a great answer. All right, Drew, hit him with the question.
Slashed. All right, so problem. Church techs are generally underpaid and sometimes undervalued. So how can we fix that?
Okay, so we're working with I'll call it a history bias. So you guys know that I'm old now. You nicknamed me Grandpa Toby around here.
That's because of your actions, not your age.
Back in my
Your
day,
dad's young.
historically, church techs have kind of been seen as about equal to the janitor. Like, you put them behind the soundboard, just turn up the knobs, and it's kind of the same thing. Like, a teenager could do it. And guys, I was that teenager. I was a teenager running the sound system, and it was very simple back then, and there wasn't a whole lot to production. But reality has changed, especially in the last 10 to 15 years, as, I won't say all, but most large churches are aiming for a level of production that they're seeing at places like Elevation and Hillsong and Bethel. And so, the expectation is changing. And then once COVID happened, every church is now streaming. So this is a whole new reality. And then there's a level of production that has to happen in order for streaming to be engaging. And so churches, as we know, we're talking about even worship leaders and the songs that they choose. Often churches are running 10 to 15 years behind the culture. Like, I remember doing God of Wonders 10 years too late and realizing, why are we still doing this song? And so churches are notorious for running behind. And the church tech salary is unfortunately one of those results of the church running behind the culture. And all the while, the outside world is leveling up events. And they're hiring great production people. They're offering great salaries because live events and great production is so integral to the culture we live in today. It's becoming more and more and more. Like, I've been to the Taylor Swift tour recently.
I was just about to joke that she paid her drivers a bonus worth double the average church tech salary.
Yeah, it's just crazy, the level of production that's out there. And so churches need to realize they have to catch up as far as the value of church production people and the value of their current salary based on what they could get outside of the world, outside of the church in the world.
Outside of the world.
Yes.
We're doing production in
I
space.
know.
Let's go. Elon's hiring.
And ironically on that, churches need to realize they're wanting to build rocket ships as far as their production setups now. And you can't, and you should not put an unqualified person managing a rocket ship. It's just not going to work out well. So we've done an entire podcast series. We've done a huge just research project, essentially, with a survey that we did, with some talking to some experts in the industry. We put together a lot of resources around this, actual numbers on what churches should be paying qualified church tech and production people, and it's all available at churchtechpay.com. So go to churchtechpay.com and get all those resources and figure out what your church or what you as a production person should be earning in a qualified role.
And I hear if you just print it out and put it on your exec pastor's desk and don't say anything, it goes really well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Passive aggressiveness always works.
That's what me and Drew did to you. We just sent you our salaries on cold numbers, and we got them. It was great.
That's why Drew makes twice as much as you.
Yeah, exactly.
You just
Drew.
gave me a higher number.
We agreed.
But in all seriousness, though, Toby, I think you just basically issued two challenges. One to churches to catch up with the times and kind of reevaluate where they're paying people, but also to the church tech to get more experience, learn, grow, seek to be better, and add more value to yourself.
Yeah, if churches are building a rocket ship, they want qualified personnel, experts, and especially in a church setting, pastoral leaders. So if you're a production person that wants to demand a high-level salary for the job, then you need to be that level of person. You need to grow your leadership skills and your technical skills, your people skills. There are so many ways. And again, we have outlined a lot of these things in our resources at churchtechpay.com.